today's session, we are going to understand one of the key problem, which is how to learn a programming language. So the two key aspects most people aspire to do here is, I want to learn a language in a super fast manner, and also my learning should be highest quality. So if you, without compromising any of these two, how can you pick a language is essence of this session. How many programming languages we have it up at this moment to express our thoughts to computers here. So these are the languages. We start from C language, then we got a CPP here, then C#, and then Python, Julia, R language is there, and Scala is coming up here, and a lot more languages in mobile side, Swift and Kotlin are available here. A lot more keeps coming out here. This is a never-ending story because each language trying to give up a better alternatives here. Some weakness of other languages, they try to really cover it up. But our goal here is how to pick all these languages in a fastest manner and also without compromising on understanding the intent of the features. What are the issues normally people face it up while learning a language? The first issue here is language learning means they think that it's all syntaxes in a particular language. You need to really by heart it up. Mostly in the student level, I see this kind of tendency very much. They keep writing a notebook here, writing all the syntaxes. They go to again, so home or office here, they keep practicing up the same syntaxes. And in that also, they're trying to recall the syntaxes here. So how well they really remember the syntaxes. This is a very, very pathetic situation. Even in a year, if they spend it up like this to learn a language, all the land is, which is in Google. If you ask Google the syntax, exactly these guys minds they land up. So which is completely useless for any company, any product development. All these companies expect you here is how to use language to communicate your thought. So when a problem is given, can you really think of a solution? That solution, can you communicate to the computer? Is the intent of the language. Without the intent, if you learn it up, all your work is completely in vain. That's why. So language learning should not take these many months of time. You are doing that means here, you are doing syntax level, not in the intent level. We'll see how to address this issue. The other issue I'm saying out is versions now. When a new version in language comes up, people rush to learn a lot of new features in that version. So, but if you understood the fundamental principles of languages, what kind of support they keep giving up, you don't have to rush it up. They keep supporting up some kind of, so extra advantage or extra features required to communicate a variety of thoughts in a better way here. But the fundamentals, if you know, the mapping in a versions becomes so simple. But people learn a new version, all the features, without knowing what they use in a practicality. This is the reason why. So this kind of version, learning a rush with all these versions is not going to help you in any way. The third problem, I really see it up, is styles of coding. Most languages, modern languages, we are seeing it up, support 3 styles of programming: procedural, object-oriented, and functional. But people have keep remembering up, mugging up all this, theoretical, concepts in each style. Object-oriented style, they start abstraction, encapsulation, polymorphism, dynamic binding. What else? There's some more terms they introduce here, compile term, polymorphism. What nonsense here. All these theoretical terms, they keep pushing up into the brains now with lots of theory and everything. If I ask you, for example, interview here, where did you use any of them? Tell me what did they use of polymorphism? They're completely clueless here. That means they never understand the intent of that feature and they keep remembering the theoretical things. So no theory is created here without practical expertise, practical issues now. For a practical problem, people created a feature. If you don't know this feature or the problem, what are the use of this feature? What are the use of polymorphism is completely meaningless. That's why. So same thing in function style. They learn so many things in function style, this operator, that operator, functions returning all of it for what? Tell me in a practice one advantage by using this kind of style of programming. They couldn't see it. What kind of benefit these guys are really getting it up. If you have this kind of learning, so this is all you are really making up mess on your own way here. So this is not going to help it up. Styles are really created for making a better programming here. For what kind of problem, which way if you program it, it becomes a clean code. That intent is what is important and the practicality of that is much more important. So that's what. The other issue I really see it up while learning a language with a lot of people here. The other one I see here is libraries learning here. Each language has a bunch of libraries here. Data structures library, file access library, network access library here, some kind of string library here. There are a lot of varieties of libraries you see it up. So they keep understanding all the libraries now. Then they go to frameworks also. Lots of frameworks. Each language again supports it. Threading framework here, parallelizing framework, distributed framework, web app framework, enterprise app framework. So many frameworks. Each language have their own support of their own framework here. So people create a lot of frameworks. But when people again keep on learning up, threaded framework, parallel framework, all syntaxes, how to write a thread in a syntax level, how to write multi-thread syntax level. But where is the problem? Where you applied threads now, you really got benefit now. One problem, if you solve it up, all this becomes automatically, understandable to you. But without solving a problem, without seeing the practicality, you are trying to understand so much things which no one really expected to learn it up. This is where most of your time is getting wasted up. So learning a frameworks without the need, small problem if you don't know, you're learning a whole framework to build a big application. How can you really develop it up? So no way, it's impossible. Libraries again, on the demand you have to learn libraries now. Who asked to learn all the libraries in language? So it's not required. Only when the need comes up, you pick the language library, you start using it. So that's what the meaning of libraries and frameworks here. So this is the other thing which people have spent so much time, but this is not language learning. This is only you're learning up some of the support ecosystem available in language. So that's what you really differentiate between core language versus ecosystem within the language. So why is this hell of learning here? Who wants any of this learning innovation? Definitely if you learn this kind of thing with syntaxes, so many things without really seeing up. So realistic practicality, any of these features here, definitely it's crap of learning. Even by luck, if you get a job with all this crap, if interview also does a similar kind of thing, you end up in a job, but I'm sure in job it's a nightmare. They give you a project, ask to write a small method or logic anyway. You don't have any clue now how to pick all of that, how to add your own logic and language expression. That's where you start seeing the real pain. That's what it's called it as fear and stress and ambition. You got to pick the things right way, then the work will become more joyful. Otherwise, it becomes nightmarish. So what is the expectation ideally from any company here from a low-level coder point of view? Is all they want is experiential learning. Can you understand this language feature in experience, in practice? Where is it useful? Tomorrow, same requirement comes up, you are going to apply. That's all they expect you to know. What else they want? They want all your notebooks written in college or what? This is not what any guy really expects it. This is all basically your incorrect direction, which you're taking it up, you get messed up yourself here. So what I'm doing now, so I'm showing up a framework. So the pieces or components are identified across all these languages here. All these pieces I'm showing it up. If you want to learn a language here, first grab these foundations. If you really understood this foundation, the intent of these foundations, so then learning a language becomes just a cakewalk. So some of them, I'm just showing it up. So the first black box or the first component of any language is going to be what is the language purpose? Why is this created up? Which kind of problem this language makes more sensible? Where is weakness here? The second component is type system. So we go to details of that, but the box level is the second box type system. Third box is style of programming. First style is procedural. The next box is object oriented. Next is functional. The next piece is modularity. So how is the modularity supported up by any language? Then data structures definitely we require from any language. Then what kind of library support available in a particular language? And then the frameworks in a language, and then debugging skill, and also performance tuning here. And also the other very common requirement for most of the job seekers is what are the common tricky puzzles they ask in interview process at the language level, syntax and logic level here to help you into a company here. This is also one of the common requirement. All these blocks together really is, underneath all these programming languages. Take this language as a top layer. What is the bottom of these languages? If you master it up, I can play with any language, any programming language in this world. These are the fundamental blocks. Whatever language you take it up. Now try to observe closely. So the complete language things now you can summarize into these blocks. So this is what you mean by framework. So if you understood the framework, the bottom of it now, all you got to do now here is just a mapping. You understand type system once now, that's all, once and one time only. Maybe in college or maybe after college or while working, one time if you expose to type system, you can play with the type system mapping to any kind of language. So type system in Python, type system in Scala, type system in Java, you got to think of why is this kind of decision made in a language. That's all. There's no separate learning for a type system in a Java, CPP, and also Scala. This is not the way that people have learned or created up languages here. If you learn the styles of programming, function style you can write in Scala, function style in Python you can write, function style in F# you can write, function style in CPP latest versions you can write. One time if you learn function programming, you can be able to play. All you got to do here is mapping. How is this idea expressed with the syntax in a language? That is just a cakewalk. First language if you learn it up, next language you can able to pick so fast. In first language also, with help of Google and ID, you can pick so fast way here. So other thing, let's say frameworks now, web application framework, Java have one framework, tomorrow you want to switch to Python here, again you can switch it up. The foundations are same, all you got to do here is change of the mappings and everything. That's why. So in a framework level, that means if you know the components of the framework, if you get a thorough understanding of the core components of the framework one time, then language learning is just a mapping change. Day after tomorrow, Go language you want to switch, exactly same thing. Some libraries they have it up, some frameworks Go language have it up, maybe concurrency library they are giving it up. You know the concurrency meaning here, then how to express in Go language is all you got to do here. So that's what you really, so you got to do it up to pick the things very fast and also with the highest quality. You always be confident on yourself here. So that's why. So the session what we are really trying to address it out here is underneath all these programming languages, what are the common components? That we call it as language learning framework. So this is a framework we're really talking about. The details of this framework to the exact curriculum in the follow-up session we're going to discuss in detail.